Hello and welcome to the analysis of 2022 UMZ2. We will be analyzing QA plus DI section here. This is the typical flow in which we'll carry out our QA plus DI section analysis. We start with topic distribution. This will be followed by question mapping, where we try to classify every question into three major difficulty levels, that is easy, moderate, as well as difficult. Based on our difficulty analysis, we'll try to come up with expected attempts, and we'll also discuss the suggested time for the same. And finally, we'll discuss expected scores and the percentile equivalence. So let's begin with topic distribution. This is how QA section topic distribution looks like in EOM-Z2. 3 questions from surds and indices and time and work each. 2 questions each from linear equation, time and distance, and triangles. 1 question from percentage, profit and loss, ratio proportion, SICI, allocations, permutation combination, functions, and chords and polygons. And there were 2 data interpretation based sets. One was based on mixed graph, and the other one which was the time zone based question, that was a caselet consisting of 3 questions. This is how the question mapping of easy question looked like. There was the first question which was based on successive percentage increase. So this was a standard manufacturer, retailer, wholesaler kind of a question where everybody charges their percentage profit, and the customer is paying 4500. If the customer buys directly from the manufacturer, how much amount can he save? That was the question. So it's a standard percentage increase based question, and everybody could have solved this question, in my opinion. Another one was an SICI based question, where this was again a question based on percentage increase. So it was given that an amount invested at simple interest becomes 7 times in 7 years. So this is what you have to catch. 7 years, there is a 600% increase. Okay. And in 7 years, if there is a 600% increase, then in 21 years, the increase has to be 3 times. So it's a 1800% increase, and therefore 19 times. Okay. So you could have solved this question mentally. Another one was question based on time and work, which applied unitary method based approach. So there were men and mops which were used to clean the floors. The question says that 10 men can clean 10 rooms using 10 mop sticks. Okay, so in how many days 12 men can complete a cleaning of 24 floors? That was the question. So here you could have tried making an equation on the lines of men multiplied by time is equal to work. You can make two equation, take their ratio, you get the number of days. A question based on allocation was given, where initial concentration of milk was 96% in 500 liter solution. And if this concentration of milk needs to be brought down to 75%, what amount of water was to be added? That was the question. And yes, you had to find out the time required for addition of that water, given that water is being added at the rate of 0.5 liter every minute. A question based on time and distance, where a standard approach of t is equal to root ab was given. So by now you should be knowing that whenever two people start from different point and they meet somewhere in between, and after crossing each other, if they are taking a given time, let's say a and b hours to reach their respective destination, then the time required for both of them to meet is the geometric mean of a and b. So that was the concept that was used here. Coming to question mapping of moderate questions, there was a question based on profit and loss. So that said that a person, when he sells at 40% loss, okay, so you can always assume the values over here, which helps you make 40% loss. Something like 100 can be the selling price because the loss is made on SP. Okay, so 100 can be the selling price, and cost price will be 140 rupees. So this will enable you to have a 40% loss on SP. And once you start assuming these values, you will be able to find out a new SP, which will help you make 40% profit. A question based on dependent equation was given. So here we had to find out the total cost of certain number of apples, mangoes, and bananas. And again, by now you should be familiar with such kind of question, that we have to multiply the first equation with K1, second with K2, and get the required value of K1 and K2. A question based on surds in indices was given where 5 terms were to be compared, each term having the difference in the values, which was 2. Okay, so there was something like under root of 101 minus under root of 99. Another was under root of 45 minus under root of 43. And there were 5 such terms given. We had to find out which one was the highest. Okay, so even by trial and error, you will be able to figure out that if you take root 3 minus root 1 and root 4 minus root 2, both of them having a difference of 2, you can figure out which one is higher, and on the same lines, you can develop some thinking. A question based on time and work was given where A and B were increasing their frequency, their efficiency individually. So it was given that if A increase his efficiency by 25%, the work gets done 5% sooner. So the time reduces by 5%. This will enable you to make equation. And once you make the equation, get the values of A and B, you will be able to find out the time required if B is increasing his efficiency by 40%. A question based on time and distance where circular race was given where two people were changing the direction as well as the speed. Both the things are being changed. One is change of direction, second is change of speed after they meet each other. Okay, so here by the time they complete 2 meeting cycle, both would have covered equal distance. Okay, so that is the concept you can use over here. A question based on surds and indices was given where the given expression was equal to 1. So we have to consider two cases here, right? How do we get to 1 as a simplification of the given expression? So there are two cases mainly. One is 1 raised to anything is 1. Okay. Second is anything raised to 0 is also 1. So we can make two cases and get the values of x appropriately. Another question, once again based on surds and indices, wherein this particular expression was equal to 192. Not only we have to solve for x over here, which was 7, but once we solve for x, we had to find out the number of digits in x raised to x. So ultimately, you had to find out the number of digits in 7 raised to 7. This involved a bit of approximation while calculating the final value. Question mapping of moderate but time-consuming questions. So there was a question based on a linear equation where the age problem was given and A, B, C were trying to relate their age with each other. Like A was saying to B that when I was equal to your age, you were 4/3 of my age. Some sort of relationship like that is given. So students might take some time to relate the age of A and B. Then again, you have to relate the age of B and C also. And finally, you have to find out the common ratio. So this was, according to me, a time-consuming question because you might require some time in making the initial assumptions. A question based on ratio proportion was given where a person was exchanging his coins. So he was exchanging all his 5 rupee coin with 2 rupees and 10 rupees coins. So the catch here was he was exchanging his coins for 2 and 10, right? So not all 5 rupee coin can be converted into 10. You need to have a minimum portion of 2 rupees coin. So that was the catch in this question. Next question, which was based on time and work, where a supply pipe was given and the supply pipe was used to fill 10 different tanks. And the condition given here in the question was each tank is able to utilize only 50% of the supply that is reaching it. And the remaining supply is passed on to the next tank. Okay, so we have to find out the third tank, the time required for the third tank to fill up. Okay, so if the supply line is providing you 512 liter per minute, the first tank can only use half of that, which is 256. And remaining 256 can be passed on to the next tanks. Now, second tank, when it is receiving 256, it can only utilize 128. So that was the concept. On these lines, you have to solve the question. A next question was based on permutation and combination. Well, this was not exactly an application of PNC, but it was more related to counting. So there are different types of dancers given: male, female, Indian, foreign, and some were solo, some were pair dancers, right? We have to find out the minimum number of foreign dancer, which can only be done with the help of some counting, right? The question might take some reading time because a lot of cases were involved. So it was a reading time of around 3 to 3.5 lines. And for each and every given statement, you have to make a chart which enable you to find out the number of male and female dancers. So that, according to me, was slightly time consuming over here. Coming to question mapping of difficult questions, a question based on functions was given, where a graph was given, and we had to find out the graph of the inverse function to the given function. Okay, so the given function was log x function, and therefore the inverse function may be e raised to x or 10 raised to x, depending upon what was the base of log, and the graph of e raised to x or 10 raised to x would be your answer. Okay, a shortcut here, let me tell you, whenever you want to find out the graph of an inverse function, okay, just remember that it is symmetrical about the 45-degree line, that is x is equal to y line. Okay. A question based on triangles was given, where a concept of x circle was used. Another question on quads and polygons, where we had to find out, we had to relate area of a quadrilateral with the in radius of the the circle inside the quadrilateral. And the next question, again based on geometry, which was involving a triangle, and there were 3 circles inscribed in the triangle at a different location. Okay, so all these 3 questions might sound slightly unfamiliar to the students. So do check out our text solution, video solution, just to understand these concepts in a proper detail. A question on mixed graph. Well, this was an easier one, a donut chart followed by a line graph. One could easily relate the data over here because the number of cricket players were given for each countries. So if you simply add up all these cricket players and equate that to 28%, which is visible on the adjacent graph, okay, you can calculate the total number of players, which was 100%. And once you crack the total number of players, you can answer the questions following it. So according to me, this set could take 6 to 7 minutes. You can solve all 3 questions, and the questions were easy to moderate kind of difficulty level. Another question which was based on K-Slate. So there were departure time and arrival time given for different cities. Now, as soon as you check the arrival and departure time and the traveling time, you'll come to know that there is a difference of time zone involved in this question. Now, once you realize that there is a difference of time zone, there are only 2 cases, and there are only 2 kind of people here. One who understand how to solve questions which are based on time zone difference, others who do not understand that. Okay, so it's a very simple call here. Yes, this was the concept. The question was based on time zone difference. If you are the one who do not know how to solve questions based on time zone difference, simply avoid this within first 1 to 2 minutes. And if you are the one who knows how to solve questions which are based on time zone difference, believe me, this is easy money on the table over here. So this is how it looks like with the overall summary of whatever analysis we have done from question to question. There were 6 questions which were falling into easy level. You should have taken all 6 of them. Moderate questions, there were 8 of them. We expect to solve a major chunk of the question here as well, which is somewhere around 7 questions, almost all of them. And from moderate and time consuming question, because there were lesser number of questions in this paper, which was 26, which is 2 less than the usual number of questions. We expect that you spend a few more minutes on solving this time consuming questions as well. So 3 out of 5 were gettable. And difficult questions, yes, if you know certain concepts related to triangle and the time zone difference, you could have solved 2 questions here. Okay, so out of 26 questions, sorry, 18 was the ideal attempt according to me. And based on these 18 attempts, if we map the accuracy to 80 to 85%, we can conclude that 15 questions correct can be a good number here. 3 incorrect, which helps us reach the net score as 13.75, which will be our 98th percentile. So this, yes, obviously suggested time here again is around 50 minutes. So that doesn't have any sectional time limit, but we have to be disciplined in terms of the number of minutes that we spend on particular section. So my suggestion here is you spend around 45 to 50 minutes and get these many attempts. This is how the overall picture looks like. As discussed, 13.75 is our 98th percentile. You can get 99 percentile for a 1.25 marks more, which is 15 marks, and 99.5 for 17.5 marks. Most of the sectional cutoffs will be in the range of 90s and 80s. So if you look at those numbers for sectional cutoffs for XLRI and some other colleges, so they will be around 10.3, which is 90 percentile, and 80 percentile will be at 7 marks. Right? Now, getting 10.3 is less than half of the total number of questions, I can say. Okay, total number of questions were at 26. Half of that is 13. 1/3 of that is 9. So you are getting anywhere between half to 1/3 of the total marks to get the sectional cutoff clear for XLRI BM course. That will be somewhere around 90 percentile. So this is it from my side for QA plus DI section analysis.
Hello and welcome to an analysis of EOM ZAT 2, that is 2022 EOM ZAT 2. Let's start with an examination of the VALR sectional. The VALR sectional was formatted on the 2021 pattern, had a total of 26 questions with 50 minutes as the suggested time. There were 4 RCs making for a total of 14 questions. The 4 RCs had 3 questions each, and then there was 1 poem with 2 questions. There were 7 critical reasoning questions, including 1 logical continuation and 1 FIJ. There were 2 parajumbles, 2 sentence completion questions, and 1 grammar question. The overall difficulty level can be termed as moderate to difficult. What were the easy questions in this section? There was just one. There was that one vocabulary question, the sentence completion one, which was a very easy one. You just had to identify that one negative word for the third blank, and that was only visible in one option that had the word disenchanting. So an easy one. But a large number of moderate questions. One of the parajumbles, the third one with very easy links, was easy, can be considered as moderate. 4 of the CR questions, 1 logical continuation, 1 assumption question, and 2 of the weakened questions. Both the weakened questions can be considered moderate, could be easily done, not a lot of reading. The option elimination could be done easily. The 1 grammar question, error detection, definitely an easy one because it followed set lines of noun, pronoun, or a subject verb, or a tense error. There was even an error of the use of the conjunction. So pretty easy for you to identify this, can definitely be marked moderate. Of the RCs, RC1, a slightly difficult one, which was philosophy, which talked about 20th century philosophical thought that is used to describe the world. And RC4, which had to do with literature, biographies, and biographers, was quite heavy and had some challenging questions. So there was only 1 moderate question in RC1 and 1 moderate question in RC4. Whereas RC2 and 3, the one that dealt with philosophy, wealth, and happiness, a short one, crisp one, as well as the one on cartography, the Native American map making, were fairly easy. The second one, because it was short, though it was abstract, it was short and had easy questions. RC3 was easy to read, and the questions were also moderate. At least 2 of them were moderate. So these 2 RCs were better bets because out of 3 questions, there were at least 2 that were moderate. The poem, that is William Blake's Anger Expressed versus Anger Not Expressed, was not very difficult to understand, short, crisp, ran into 16 lines, and wasn't difficult. One of the questions, in fact, was quite easy. It was only the title question that required you to think a lot. That is question number 24. The FIJ was also an easy one. They were very easy. The options could have been considered to narrow down your choice. So a number of moderate questions, if you looked carefully for them. What were the difficult ones? As I said, 2 of the RCs had just 1 difficult question, which is RC2 and RC3, the wealth and happiness one, as well as the cartography one, had just one difficult question. But the other two had two difficult questions. In the first place, RC1 was heavy reading. Likewise, the writing on biographies and biographers was not very easy reading, and the questions were fairly challenging. The one of the parajumbles was difficult, the fourth one, because the options could confuse you there. One vocabulary question, the sentence completion question, was quite tricky because of the options. Two of the CR questions, one of the assumptions, that is question number 9 there, and flaw in the reasoning. There was one flaw in the reasoning question, which could have been a little challenging. Can't be marked as extremely difficult, but yes, option elimination was not so easy there. And the title question, which of the one is not a suitable title in the poem, that was difficult again. So in all, where do we stand? We are looking at a total of 14 questions that are moderate, out of which an expected attempt would be 12, 13. One easy question expected to be taken. And of the 11 difficult questions, about 2 or 3 to be taken. Expected attempts are about 2 or 3, which means we are looking at a range of about 16 questions to be taken with about 80% accuracy. 16 questions at about 80% accuracy fetches you a score of about 13. Lower than that, roughly around 14 questions attempted with about 80% attempts, a score of 11.25. Remember the negative marking and the negative marking for unattempted questions too. Fetches with a score of 11.25, you stand at a 95 percentile. A score of 13 fetches you a 98 percentile. A score of 10 fetches you a 90 percentile. A score of 8.50 fetches you an 80 percentile. Remember, we're looking at attempts and an 80% accuracy of those attempts. A score of 14.50, which is like an 18 to 19 questions attempted, with an accuracy of about 80%, fetches you a 14.50, and that is our 99 percentile. 18 marks of 18 out of 26 questions, 18, a score of 18, which is about 22 plus attempted with an 80% accuracy, fetches you a score of 18, and that is our 100 percentile. Not a very difficult one, but yes, not a very easy one too. That's why it's been marked as moderate to difficult. Let's look at what the decision-making section looked like. Once again, formatted on 2021 pattern, a total of 21 questions. In fact, you didn't find any AR question here, no analytical reasoning question. All the caselets given were decision-making caselets. So suggested time is 50 minutes. 50 minutes is in fact on the higher side. You could probably have even managed this sectional in a matter of 45 minutes. Business, situational, and ethics caselets. There were 9 of them, 9 business, situational, and ethics caselets. There were 5 caselets with 3 questions each. There were 2 caselets with 2 questions each. And there were 2 caselets with 1 question each. The overall sectional difficulty level of this sectional can be marked moderate to difficult because some of these caselets required intensive reading, required you to carefully filter the data or the facts given. Caselet 1, the situational decision-making one of Savio, purchase order of 2 forges. The first question was difficult, but the second one was moderate. The first question was difficult because you needed to read the details carefully. Caselet 2, the business decision-making caselet, which was to do with the ebooks one, Amaze and Rekindle, and the ebooks scenario, had 2 questions, and both were easy ones. One was moderate and the other was easy. So definitely something that you could get into. Again, it also didn't make for heavy reading, very short, crisp, less data. Caselet 3, ethical and situational decision making. The situation of Recon Africa Petroleum Exploration Company. 3 questions. 2 of them were quite difficult. A lot of reading to be done here. Additional facts given beyond the case again. But if you notice, there was one question that was easy there. That is question 7. Caselet 4, the one that had to do with business decision making. The scenario of Burger Queen, Satisfries, and Better Burger, the products that they launch. The 3 questions, 2 of them were moderate. There was only one, the third question, that was a little tricky with the options coming close. Caselet 5, business decision making. The payment platforms of SurePay and ZaiPay, very, very upcoming things. 3 questions here, 2 of them were difficult, but there was one question that was easy. If you notice that in this set, you have one easy question, you could probably take that. Caselet 6, business decision making. The Nakamura Lacquer Company. 2 of these questions were easy, moderate. One was difficult. Question 15 and 16 were quite doable. The case itself was not a heavy one to read. Caselet 7, business decision making, which is future furniture and the environmentally conscious stand that they take. 3 questions that it had. Question 17 was difficult. Question 18 and 19 can be termed moderate and easily taken. Caselet 9, that single caselet on Mr. Kapoor's divorce and Burke. A situational decision making, moderate question, short one, crisp one, easily read and done. Likewise, caselet 8, situational decision making again. Jim and the bank robbery incident. Definitely not a lengthy reading, could be taken. The question was a moderate one. So look at how we found a number of caselets that have more moderate questions, which is, caselet, we'll come to caselet 1, 3, and 5 in a moment. But from caselet 2, caselet 4, caselet 6, 7, 8, and 9 could all be taken. 8 and 9 are those individual ones. Caselet 7 and 6, both of these, the Nakamura Lacquer Company as well as Future Furniture, both could be easily taken. Caselet 7, 8, and 9, caselet 7 and 6 is what we find here. Yes. And we could also consider caselet 2, caselet 4. Let's look at caselet 4, which is the Burger Queen one, easy enough. We could also consider perhaps one question each from caselet 1, 3, and 5. If you carefully look, because you had the time, it isn't that you had to rush with time. There was sufficient time. So you could examine these caselets, and that easy question stood out very clearly. So some time spent in all the caselets looking for those easy questions, but otherwise most of the caselets would take you about 8 minutes. On the lower side, perhaps 6 minutes, which is actually a rush, up to 8 minutes, because you're also looking at 3 questions there. So at the rate of 8 minutes for a caselet that has about 3 questions, about 6 minutes for a caselet that has 2 questions, about 2 or 3 minutes for that individual caselets. Roughly around 40-45 minutes is what we are considering. If you, want to add some more time here, you are most welcome to spend 50 minutes here. As discussed, 50 minutes is the ideal time allocation here. You would surely not need to spend more time than that in this section. So where do we stand with 10 moderate questions, 3 easy ones, and 8 difficult questions? What's the expectation? 8 or 9 moderate questions to be taken, the 3 easy ones to be taken, a couple of difficult questions to be taken. So we are considering something like 15 attempts at 80% accuracy. The accuracy here can fluctuate, but with careful reading and careful selection, you can ensure good accuracy in decision making. So 80% attempts of 15 attempts gives us roughly a score of 12.25, which is our 98th percentile. Fewer attempts, that is around 13 attempts with 80% accuracy, a 10.75. Roughly around 11 attempts, 10 to 11 attempts with us an accuracy of 80 percentile, 80% gives us a score of 9.50. 8.25 is our score for an 80 percentile. 13.75 with around 17, 18 attempts and an 80% accuracy, we're looking at a score of 13.75, which is our 99 percentile. Roughly around 20 or 21 attempts with about 80% accuracy, giving us a score of 16 is our 100 percentile. So where does this make us? Where is the overall picture here? What is the overall scoring pattern of XAT2? Knowing what the VALR sectional cutoffs, sectional scores were for their percentiles, let's look at the overall one. An overall score of 20.75 fetches you an 80 percentile. An overall score of 25.50 fetches you a 90 percentile. An overall score of 30.25 fetches you a 95 percentile. An overall score of 35.25 fetches you a 98 percentile. An overall score of 37.5 fetches you a 99 percentile. An overall score of 40.5 fetches you a 100 percentile. This is the overall scores and the percentiles. Let's also quickly understand what do these percentiles mean in terms of the various important colleges and their expected cutoffs. So XLRI business management program would require a sectional minimum of 90 in quant, sectional minimum percentile. It would require a sectional minimum of 80 percentile in VALR, a sectional minimum of 80 percentile in decision making, an overall percentile of 96 can fetch you an XLRI BM call. Whereas for the HRM program, the expectation from quant is lower. You can see that around 70 percentile, which is lower than your 80 percentile. So you don't even need to look for a score of 7, much lower than that. So a 70 percentile in quant is the cutoff for this sectional for your HRM, XLRI HRM call. 85 percentile is the expectation for VALR for your HRM call. 75 percentile in decision making is the cutoff for you to get an HRM call. These are the sectional expected cutoffs. Overall, a 94 percentile can fetch you an XLRI HRM call. This is going by past trends, past years. XIMB, that is Xavier Institute of Management, Bhubaneswar, also known as XIU, and IMT Ghaziabad, a Cloud 2 college, expects a 70 percentile sectional cutoff in quant, a 70 percentile sectional cutoff in VALR, a 70 percentile sectional cutoff in decision making. An overall of 90 percentile XAT score, XAT percentile, can fetch you a call from XIMB and IMT Ghaziabad. So this is an indicator of how you can target the right things, work towards that, and look for wonderful calls. This is all from us. Thank you for listening to us and being a part of this.